What if the universe wasn't born from a big, chaotic bang, but from a single, conscious thought? Today, we're going to dive into a worldview that completely flips our understanding of reality on its head. A cosmos that is literally made of mind. Let's get right into it. So let's just start with the biggest question of them all. Is any of this actually real? Well, according to the framework we're exploring today, the answer is a fascinating yes and no. It suggests that reality isn't some fixed, solid thing out there, but something that is fundamentally shaped by consciousness itself.
To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to take a journey through four core ideas. First, we'll lay the foundation, this idea of a universe made of pure thought. Then, we'll look at the cosmic map of all the parallel worlds. After that, we'll peek under the hood at the universal operating system, which is called the Tao. And finally, we'll see where this path ultimately leads, a state of being known as heaven.
All right, let's jump right into our first section, a universe made of mind. Now, this is the cornerstone of this entire philosophy. The idea here isn't just that consciousness is a byproduct of the universe. In this view, consciousness is the universe.
So, forget the Big Bang Theory for a second. This framework suggests the entire cosmos is a thought projected from the consciousness of a being called the greatest creator. And here's where it gets really mind-bending. The universe doesn't have a fixed size. How big it appears to you depends entirely on the level of your own awareness.
This concept of a conscious universe leads to a really subtle but absolutely crucial distinction. See, in Chinese, there are two words that sound almost identical but mean the complete opposite. The universe didn't come from chaos, a state of total disorder. Instead, it emerged as an ordered wholeness, a perfectly interconnected system where every single part is a perfect reflection of the whole.
So if reality is a conscious system, what are its laws of physics? Well, it all starts with three core elements: consciousness, structure, and energy. But then look at the 8 fundamental forces. You've got the ones you'd expect, gravity, the strong and weak forces, but they exist right alongside these metaphysical forces like intentional force and spiritual force. It's this incredible blend of physics and philosophy.
Okay, so we have the basic building blocks of this reality. For our second section, let's see what kind of universe they actually build. And as you're about to see, it's not just one universe, it's a complex, multi-layered cosmos. This system actually maps out 20 parallel worlds, and each one exists on different dimensional coordinates. So our human world, for example, is on the x-y plane. If you shift those coordinates to -x, -y, you're in the spirit world. Add a z-coordinate and you can access the divine world, while a -z could lead you to places like the millennial realm, and you're going to want to remember that name for later.
So, how do you actually travel between these worlds? The model uses this really cool idea of tunnels. Time tunnels are for moving forward and backward along your own timeline, revisiting your past or getting a glimpse of your future. Space tunnels are totally different. They let you jump sideways into a completely separate parallel world that's coexisting with ours right now.
This completely redefines our whole concept of time. It's not this steady, forward-marching river we think it is. It's described as a variable recorder made of antimatter, capturing events like a cosmic film strip. What this means is that time is fluid. It can be stretched, it can be compressed, and in some dimensions, it might not even exist at all.
Okay, that brings us to our third section. With such a complex structure of reality, what's the operating system that runs it all? Well, that's where we get to the core concept of the Tao and its intimate connection to the greatest creator.
This right here, this is the absolute core of this entire worldview. The Tao, which is often thought of as just the natural flow of the universe, is defined here as something incredibly specific. It is, quite literally, the consciousness of the greatest creator.
So think of the Tao as the universe's source code, its lifeblood, and its master program, all rolled into one. Every single thing, from a spinning galaxy all the way down to a fleeting thought, operates within it. To be in harmony with the universe, then, means aligning yourself with this program and, by extension, with the mind of the creator.
And this isn't just some abstract philosophy. It actually lays out a tangible path for spiritual growth. The journey has 5 steps. It starts by simply awakening to the fact that the Tao exists. From there, you have to actively seek it, then verify it for yourself, then attain a connection to it, and finally uphold it in everything you do. So where does this path ultimately take you? That brings us to our final section, the path to heaven. And in this context, heaven isn't just some reward you get for being good. It's a fundamental transformation of your entire being. Now, heaven here isn't one single location. It's more of a collective name for a whole series of higher dimensional realms, real, tangible worlds for beings who've completed their evolution. This even includes that millennial realm we saw on the cosmic map earlier.
So, what does it take to get there? It requires a series of profound inner awakenings, and the magic number is 8. These are the 8 Great Awakenings. It's a journey of understanding the true nature of life, death, and cause and effect. It means awakening to the reality of multidimensional space, your own destiny, and the power of your heart-mind, your integrated consciousness. It's about seeing the fundamental game rules of reality, and finally, awakening to the source of it all, the greatest creator.
And the reward for completing this journey is, well, it's staggering. This chart gives you a sense of the scale. In the millennial realm, a lifespan is about 1,000 of our years. In the next level up, it's 35,000. And once you reach the highest realm, the fairy archipelago, life just becomes limitless.
So what is the ultimate state of being in this system? It's called a heavenly immortal. And this comparison really makes it clear. A Buddha is considered the wisest being, but they still have duties and responsibilities. A heavenly immortal, on the other hand, is the freest being. Their entire existence is about joyful play and creation, completely free from any kind of obligation. In this view, ultimate freedom is the final goal.
So how do you achieve that kind of freedom? The path says you have to escape 2 kinds of prisons. First, the external ones, the social constructs we build like family, nation, and organized religion. And second, the internal prison, what the text poetically calls the Egypt of the heart, which is a metaphor for being enslaved by our own jealousy, anger, and greed. And that really brings us to our final thought. This entire cosmic journey, through all these different realms and awakenings, leads to a state of absolute, joyful freedom, which leaves all of us with a pretty powerful question to reflect on. If you had 0 duties, no obligations at all, and an eternity of freedom, what would you do with it?